Welcome to Family Filler Games.
Today I'm going to be playing Donuts for Donuts. Donuts for Donuts is a 2 to 6 player game. It takes about 20 minutes to play and it teaches 8+.
In Go Nuts for Donuts, a fresh batch of donuts has just come out of the bakery, and you and your fellow donut lovers are racing to get as many donuts as you can. However, in this game there's no sharing, so if you each choose the same donut, nobody gets it. Next we want to go over the setup for Go Nuts for Donuts. The first thing that you will do is each player is going to get a number of selection cards equal to the number of players plus 1. So, since we're playing a 3-player game, each player will have a 1 through 4 card. Next you will create the donut row. So, once again, there's numbers 1 through 7 of these. 1 through 7 of these, and you'll put out however many players there are plus 1. Next, you are going to create the donut deck. In the donut deck, you'll notice there's going to be, on each of these cards, in the middle here, there's like a little two dots up there at the top in the middle as well. Yeah, that indicates which cards you'll play with however many players. So like for instance, this one has the 3 little dots at the top of the kind of little white out box and at the bottom. That indicates which cards you'll play for however many players are in the game. So for a 2-player game, you would only play with the ones that have 2 dots. 3-player games, you'd play with ones that have 2 dots and the 3 dots. And then there's also 4 and 5 dot cards that are in this deck. And so you'll go through beforehand and you'll take out any of the cards that you're not going to be playing with. And then at that point, you will end up shuffling the deck. So we've gotten all the cards out that we don't need. Put those back in the box. You can set the box aside here. And then you'll shuffle the cards. And you'll start a deck here. Once the cards have been shuffled, you will then flip over a card and fill in each spot of the selection row. And with that, setup is complete. Before we get started with the game, we wanted to go over some of the cards that you'll see in the game so you can be familiar with those before we actually start playing the game.
Okay, so first we have the jelly-filled donut at the bottom. There's a bunch of numbers, so as many as the same jelly donut cards is how many points it's worth. So if you had 2 cards, you get 5 points. If you had 3 cards, you also get 5 points. But there's some like donut holes when you already start with 1 point. And then it goes on to 3, to 6, to 10, to 15. Then we have the French Croulet, and this one has an ability. It says discard any card not selected in this round. See, if you grab this card, then you can use that. Red Velvet's -2 points, but its ability is you can take one from the discard. You can take 1 card from the discard pile.
So some of the other cards that you'll see in here, there's 2 types of cards. There's cards that give points, like everything that's out here. They all give points, whether either positive or negative. Some of them have actions that you do with them, and some of them don't. There's also in the deck here, let's see, there's these cards here that she's showing you. You'll notice in the corners there, it's got a little stars. Those mean that's an action card, so it doesn't necessarily give you any points. So if you select that card, you'll immediately take whatever the action is. So for instance, the action on this one is
draw the top card from the donut deck.
So in that case, you would draw the top card from this deck and basically put that in front of you. the action cards work is you take the action immediately as soon as you draw the card from the row, and then you'll keep that action card in front of you. It'll be part of your donuts. If somebody ever takes an action card from your pile, they don't get to use the action. Same thing goes with if you pick up an action card from the actual draw pile. If a card like that one we just looked at, how it told you to draw the top card of the donut deck, if it was another action card, you wouldn't get to take the action. You only get to take the action if you pick it up from the actual donut row here. And so with that, we are ready to start the first round of play. Games played over a series of rounds. Each player will secretly select one of their selection cards from their hands. So we each have 1 through 4 in our hands here. And we will put that down in front of us. And once everybody's kind of got theirs selected, we will go ahead and flip them over at the same time. So everybody's got theirs selected. So 1, 2, 3. So, and then starting with the first card. So nobody had a 1, so nobody gets it. The 2, they both put out a 2, so nobody gets the 2. So if 2 people choose the same card, it actually gets discarded. I chose a 3, so I get the French Croulier. So this is, it's worth flat 2 points, and it also has an effect I can do. It says discard any number of cards not selected this round. So, for instance, since these 2 cards weren't selected this round, this gave me the option to discard them if I wanted to, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually discard this Red Velvet because it's a negative 2 points. And I don't like that card being out there. So after that, we move on to the next round. You'll fill up any empty spots with new donut cards. And once again, you will select one of your cards in secret. 1, 2, 3. So starting with number 1, nobody chose a number 1 card. Number 2 card was her, so she gets to pick that up. It's worth just a flat 3 points to her, so she doesn't get any special action. He chose the 3, so he gets the maple bar, and it's worth 3 points. And it says if you have more than so this one's worth 3 points if at the end of the game you have more than 6 types of cards. So he's going to be wanting to try and get 6 different types of donut cards. Otherwise, this won't score any points for him at the end of the game. And then I chose the 4, which is the Boston Cream. So this one's kind of interesting. So for my first one, it's worth 0 points. If I get a second one, I get some points. But if I get a third one, I then go back to 0. And then the next one after that would give me points again. So this one you have to kind of be careful with. They'll only make sure you get the right amount that you need. So once again, we'll refill the donut roll. And we will once again select a card from our hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so nobody chose a 1, nobody chose a 2. She chose the 3, and then nobody gets the 4 because we both selected 4s. And so the gameplay will continue like this. With the, we just keep taking turns refilling the donut row, and the game will continue until there's not enough cards in the draw deck to end up refilling all of the spots in the donut row. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I get to choose first this time. Nobody got the 2. She chose the 3, and he chose the 4.
I chose 8.
So this one, once again, is the plain donut. It's only worth 1 point for each plain donut, but if you have the most at the end of the game, you actually end up getting a bonus 3 points at the end. All right, so she chooses this one. Wait, we choose in order, buddy. So she gets this one here. So she got the double chocolate. So this says draw 2 cards from the donut deck, keep 1 and return 1. Okay, and then nobody had the 2. I had the 3. So this one says take the top card from the discard pile. So I get to just take the top card from the discard pile and add it to my collection here. And then he chose the number 4, so he once again gets a glazed donut. So he's up to 3 different types of donut cards. So he's on about halfway to his goal of being able to score the points for the maple bars. So I had the 1. So it's minus 2 points to me, but I get to search the discard pile and choose any donut that I want. So since they've been blocking me from getting my Boston cream pies, I'm taking that.
No!
Okay, and then nobody had the 2. They both chose the 3, so that gets discarded. I think so. 1, 2, 3.
Yee.
Dang. So the 1 gets discarded. Nobody had the 2, she chooses the 3.
Dad, I want the donut holes, okay? If that ever pops
Oh,
up.
so do I. You don't have that one. Go ahead and flip it over. 1, 2, 3.
I just want a card.
So that sucks. I chose the 4,
Crap.
hoping I would get the eclair, which lets me choose the top card of the discard
Look
pile.
at me.
I really wanted that donut hole that was there, but because we go in number order, that powdered donut covered it up. So that's the one I have to choose. Is that one? Which isn't bad because it's 3 points still. So
It's very bad, Dad.
The donut holes pops up, it's mine.
I want jelly filled.
ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, good. Oh.
All right. So she gets the 1.
Oh.
I get the 2, which is the draw the top card from the donut deck.
It's a giant stress reliever.
So I'm gonna draw this. It's a jelly filled. And then you had the 4, so you get the sprinkle.
It's not a 4, Dad. Look, it says H.
So this one, it's worth 2 points, but then he has to give one of his cards to another player. So this one can be beneficial if you have a negative 1, because you can get rid of your negative 1.
Dad,
But he has to choose one of his cards that he's got and give it to another player. So which card do you want to give to another player?
plain.
You're gonna give the plain. So he's giving the plain donut to another player. Who are you giving it to? Me?
Because Zoe has plain.
Okay. And with that, since we have only 1 card left, we can't fill up the entire donut row again. So that is the end of the game. Okay, so let's move on to scoring. Let's do one person at a time. So she says she has 30 points. I've got, did you do your bonus 3 points for having the most of these? Okay. So I don't have the most, so that's 2. That's not worth anything, neither of those. This is -2, so I'm at 0. 3, 6, 11, 14, 16, 22 points for me. And she had 30.
And I had 11.
And he's got, that's a 0.
Does that mean 1?
3,
I actually win on
5,
Family Field game.
7, 9, 10, 11, and he had only one of these, which was 0 points. So he had 11. And that is the game of Go Nuts for Donuts.
Ta-da!
We hope you have enjoyed this overview of how to play Go Nuts for Donuts.
If you like this video, please like and subscribe.
If you have any suggestions, please comment them below. Any other board games you want us to play.